This £1 million show edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code PLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Sunday, August the 10th, and we are here to have a look back over the opening weekend of Championship fixtures in the EFL before we continue apace our preparations for the Premier League kick-off, which is now only 5 days away, by doing our annual feature popular show, is the £1 million show. Joining me, having just retrieved a delicious-looking turkey from his barbecue, is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, tell us about the turkey.
Well, the turkey's not just for Christmas, Malcolm, as you know, or Thanksgiving for our American listeners. I'm on a bit of a mission to clear out my freezer. I've got a big chest freezer that has all sorts in it. If I go to the supermarket and something has got a 50% sticker on it, then I will buy whatever. So I think this turkey was actually purchased on Christmas Eve, 75% off. So it was a £35 turkey, which cost me about £8 or something like that. Massive big turkey crown. So yeah, last week I took out a big gammon joint, and I've been living off gammon for the last 5-6 days. So today yesterday I took out the turkey, cooked it on the barbecue tonight, so it'll have loads of flavour, and that'll keep me going all week. As you know, I'm on a bit of a health kick, so any nice lean smoked meats is good for that. So I'll be snacking on turkey all week this week.
It did look pretty good when you brought it in, Baz. I was a little bit jealous. It's slim pickings in our fridge. I don't know why. I don't know why the IT department hasn't stocked up. I might have to threaten her with another fine. Poor performance, but yes, very good. £1 million show tonight, which is always good. This time next week, we will be 90% of the way through all of the Premier League fixtures. There'll be a Monday night game, but yeah, we'll be 90% of the way through. It is exciting. I watched quite a lot of football this weekend, which got me in the mood for it. I watched most of the Community Shield today. I missed the first 4 minutes, so I can't comment on Ekitike. I then watched a little bit. I then fell asleep. I then woke up and watched the penalties, etc. So I enjoyed all of that. First successful hate watch of the season. I will tell you what I thought about that ever so briefly here. I thought Palace were good. Palace are going to be fun this year. I actually nearly changed some of my notes tonight to factor Palace in to some of my picks, but then I thought that's a stupid thing to do. Like you've spent weeks and weeks sort of cultivating these picks. You can't be so naive as to watch one game of football, a friendly, which ended in a draw, and change some of your plays. But Palace are going to be good because they finished the season well, but they're settled. Obviously, they started really bad. He was at no one in the first 9 last year. And then the points per game after that was really competitive. It was a top half performance. They went on and won the FA Cup, etc. The key to Palace is keeping their good players. It's keeping Eze, Wharton, Mateta, Gahey, those sort of players. So we'll see. But I thought Palace were decent. I love Sarr as well. Sarr's a really good player. Liverpool were shite, which I enjoyed. Liverpool not were shite. Liverpool are shite, Barry. Here's the Liverpool notes. They've got no depth at all. No squad depth. The bench was absolutely cack. They were only missing Gravenberch, who's on paternity leave. Van Dijk's lost it to old knackered. Salah's lost it. He was dog shit for the rest of the season. They're easy to play against. Frimpong can't defend. Kyrgyz is as slow as a week in prison. The fans are entirely unbearable. And I think that was my... I think that's all my notes on that game. So, yes, that's them in a nutshell. I don't know if Alexander Isak can play centre-half, but that's where we might have to slot in for them because the other two can't. Did you watch any of that, Baz?
I did, yeah. I quite enjoyed the game, to be honest. It was good to just... It felt almost like a Premier League game, didn't it?
Because both teams went full strength and it was competitive.
Yeah, so it felt like a good little curtain raiser. Liverpool want to focus some of that 130 million they've got sitting there and spend it on some defenders, maybe. Or just put another 30 million on the table and take Isak off our hands because we're all fucking fed up with him now anyway. But yeah, good. I thought Palace were good value for it. Funnily enough, Palace feature quite a bit in my £1 million picks tonight. And that was before.
After watching that game or before?
No, it was before. I done most of my picks last night. But I just... Well, I'll get to it when we come round because I don't want to spoil it now. But I have got a bit of Palace action in there. But yeah, it was a good game. And as I say, I think they deserved it on the balance of play. How didn't they get a penalty? That was a penalty last year, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a fucking the handball. Well, yeah, sorry. I actually, in my little list of Liverpool shit, yeah, it was a penalty. It was ridiculous.
They'll probably come out this week and tell us they've changed the interpretation of what is a penalty again, because they have to do that every year, don't they? They have to come up with a different way of looking at it. But that was a penalty all day long last season. So I don't know what happened this year as to why it wasn't. Bottled it again. Good start for VAR.
I might have to squirrel 50 grand away, Barry, and put this. I just looked at the Palace handicap. And, I haven't put Fulham handicap in my £1 million picks. But it was the one I wanted.
Again, just to appease you,
But it's the same handicap. Fulham and Palace are both on 33 points. And at this point, I think you'd fancy Fulham. You'd fancy Palace on the evidence of the back end of last season. So I'm going to make an adjustment. Next time you do something, I'm making an adjustment. I'm doing it right now. That was a penalty. I was fucking furious about that. But these twats win. Something else annoyed me as well. They got away with something else, and I can't remember what it was. Not to worry. The two VAR decisions went their way, but I can't remember what the second one was.
I thoroughly enjoyed Salah hitting his penalty over the ball as well. That wasn't on my lottery card, but Eze's pen again. Just run up and hit it. Stop pissing about. Just fucking hit the ball. That was absolutely rubbish from Eze. And again,
but yeah,
if he scores, people will say it was a great pen and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Garbage.
Because that's what Sarr does 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
He does absolutely the same shit, but it goes in.
Except Sarr does get a hell of a lot of power for it, considering he had also done a stupid run-up.
Yeah, we flogged this dead horse for quite a while on the show. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Let me take this opportunity to remind you about our new sponsor. This is important and exciting. Metaspins Sports, your destination for crypto sports betting. Sign up today and get a 100% risk-free bet. Plus, you'll also receive a $25 bonus on your first deposit. Get started today at metaspins.com/sports. That's metaspins.com/sports. Championship over the weekend. I watched quite a bit. It was last-minute goals, decided a lot of the big games, and also decided a lot of my picks. Kind of offset, actually. Some of the unlucky ones offset by luckier ones. So I'm not complaining about any luck, but I was wrong. I think we were all wrong about Birmingham Ipswich the other night. We both took Ipswich. I put out a YouTube short that had Ipswich team total. And Birmingham were just a better team throughout. There was some awful officiating up and down the EFL this weekend. Fucking hell. I know there always is, but there was some dog shit. It started on Friday night where Port Vale got sawn off twice against Cardiff City by the linesman with the easiest offside decision. You know, there's tricky ones where defenders going that way and the forwards going that way. This is just, they're in line. He's looking at them for 5 seconds. Bloke was never offside. At no point was he the wrong side of the defender. So that was dog shit on. That might have been Thursday night, Port Vale. Birmingham were better than Ipswich, who then got a very lucky penalty in the last minute. Early Saturday, Wrexham shit the bed, didn't they? Andy is in the chat. I felt for Andy ever so slightly, not really. I couldn't give a shit. But I mean, The promoted teams did struggle. The relegated teams, did struggle. Southampton, 2 injury time goals. Ipswich, last minute goal. Leicester got to come from behind late against Sheffield Wednesday today. And we did say that might be a bit of an issue. Cov struggled a little bit. But picks-wise, we done all right, Barry. I ended up 4-4, 4 winners, 4 losers. But profit was the answer, which got me happy with. So 8 units bet, returned 10. Got Ipswich very wrong, as I said. Cov let me down. West Brom Blackburn, I did give out the unders. I like the unders, but it was too short a price. Finished 1-0. I was on the wrong side of it. In Charlton, Watford, that was one of the last-minute drama where Watford could have had a pen in the last minute. Ref didn't give it. Charlton went up the other end and scored. Then I won on both teams to score, Southampton, Wrexham. Terrible officiating in that game as well. Like, again, talk about Wrexham being unlucky to lose it at the end. The kid's got to get sent off, the Southampton player. Was it Stevens, I think? That's got to get sent off in the first half. Millwall was what made my weekend. Millwall winning away at Norwich, 14-5 plus 280. I feel like I left something on the table with Sheffield United, Bristol City, because I gave out Bristol City double chance and they won 4-1. So it's a nice win, but I've got 11-10 about the 7-2 shot. And finally, Stoke Derby in the face-off between which one of our mates we can now trust. The answer is mine. Johnny Big Shades is trustworthy. Walker is not, and your mate from work fucked it as well. But that was 1-1 injury time. Derby were in front. 2 injury time goals from Stoke. So, like I say, that kind of offset the Watford one. So, bet 8, 110 Baz. I will take it. And I think you ended up in front as well.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm not so good in the Championship. Millwall Norwich goals was plus money winner. But the 2 best picks for me were the 2 I liked, League 1 and League 2. Good plus money prices. I think it was 9-5 for Stockport to score, or 7-4, something like that for Stockport to score 2 or more. It was 5-4 for Crewe to score 2 or more. That came in with room to spare, and I also predicted that as a double. So the League 1, League 2 team total double came in at 5-1 as well. So yeah, best bets came in, and that was the main thing for me. Particularly getting that double in was nice.
Yeah, I said I quite like Wickham again. I went back to the well, and I was wrong. You were right that time with Stockport County. So yeah, decent, and like I say, it kept our betting muscles in shape, ready to fire some bullets. Weekend coming. Let's say hello to the people who have joined us. The Bacchus family were first in. Andy Williams, Callum is here. Joe Dollar, welcome along. Fefwef. Fefwef wants to reiterate that Derby are shite. Correct, Fefwef. No arguments there with you. Who else is here? That might be it, Lots of chat, just not that many people doing it. But there are more people in the chat. So if you are here, by all means, say hello. I will point you towards the Prediction League, which I've mentioned. You've got the rest of the week to get involved. I mean, you can get involved at any time, but if you're going to win the season long, you're better off being involved from the start. We're up to well over 20 people in there now, so let's see if we can get that to 50 or 100 maybe. The website is predictaddict.co.uk. So predictaddict.co.uk. And the code is 43455. That's the mini league code. So that's predictaddict.co.uk, code 43455. I know there's loads of our regulars who aren't in there yet. So get yourself in, win some sports gambling podcast merch. I think, Barry, that is all my build-up chat. First part of the show done. Have you got anything you want to tell us about? Oh, yeah, Courtney's in the chat. Courtney calls her team, Barry, Man United rules, which I found very childish and also a load of bollocks. I don't know if there's an overwrite there, if I can go in there and overwrite that. Baz, before we get stuck into the £1 million show, anything to tell us about?
We'll get cracking on with the picks. We can leave the lifestyle for the end, can't we?
Well, I'm not
just
sure.
Drop a little nugget in. You can guess again on where my musical adventures are taking me this week. Two cities this week. I'm going on Thursday, and I'm going somewhere else on Friday. So, guesses in the chat. Where's Baz going on his musical adventure this week?
Barry's musical adventures. This is a whole new feature. Barry, you've gone crazy.
I've done Cardiff.
We have brought
done Liverpool. Sorry. Done Cardiff. Done Liverpool. But yeah, the next few weeks is going to bring quite a few more gigs. So we've got it's building up.
We're brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from tons of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code PLGP for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply. mybookie.ag, promo code PLGP. And Rhythm's power trends are now called smart signals. Rhythm continues to crush it with smart signals, essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Smart signals are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. MLB, Mike Trout and Giancarlo Stanton are a combined 14-0 on smart signals. 14-0. You can't argue with that. 97 and 65 WNBA. Loads of good stuff over there. Scott and Adam are nailing the WNBA smart signals. Download the Rhythm app. Check out smart signals. Start betting smarter. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. So, the £1 Million Show, if anyone doesn't know, if you are new, what we do here is myself and Barry take a mythical £1 million each and we throw it, both willy and nilly, around any outright anti-post betting market that we like in the Premier League. It's basically an exercise in picking your futures, whatever your bankroll is, adjust it accordingly. We've got a lot of previous in this, Baz. I think we've won every time. I might have lost on the Euros, I think. I think we've done 2 Prems and a World Cup and a Euros. I'm not sure. But far more profit than otherwise. I just about doubled up last year. Now, the problem I've got here, Barry, is I'm not as confident. So the technique, I don't know how you feel about it. The technique I've used the last couple of years is to have a cornerstone play, kind of even money, plus 110, plus 120, something like that. Have 400 or 500 grand on it, and it's won. And then the other odds and sods take you up. I haven't got one this time, Baz. For me to get over the finish line here, for me to get in profit, I'm going to have to win 2 or 3 bets. I've got a lot of 4, 5, 6 to 1 shots. So I'm like 100 grand at 4s, 100 grand at 5s, that kind of thing. So it's a kind of a different way of skinning this cat for me, Baz. How did you feel about
it? Very similar. I done the same. Usually try and find a big sort of 300, 400 grand play that gets me level at least. But yeah, it wasn't one there. So I've got a couple of big, I've got a 300k and a 200k, but neither of them would get me into profit. So like you, I will definitely, or not definitely, but I'm likely to need at least a couple of picks to come good or one of my long shots.
I'm just adjusting my, I'm trying to get my Crystal Palace bets in here. Right, okay. I've taken 25 grand off that, and I put 50 grand on that. Right, okay. Barry, would you like to go first, or would you like to go second?
I'll go first. I'll chuck my first. And we're going to start with biggest money first. Start at the top.
Yeah, go for it.
So my biggest one is going to be, it's one that I did mention on the outright show last week. It's Man City for the top 2. I just feel like City will come back stronger this season. A lot of new players come in back in January, so I had a bit of time to settle. You know, Rodri's coming back as well. Should make a big improvement for them. And I don't think they need to improve much on last season. They had a terrible season last year, and I said they only finished 3 points behind Arsenal there. So they don't need to improve tons to get back into the top 2. I also think Arsenal might have missed their chance in the last couple of seasons, might have peaked. So I'm taking City to be the team pushing Liverpool this season. So the pick for 300,000 is going to be Man City to finish in the top 2. £300,000 to return £630,000. That's 11 to 10. Plus 110 is the price. So Man City top 2 at 11 to 10, 300k.
How long's Rodri out for? That was the only thing that kind of put me off missing stuff. Munaf messaged me today. He was going on another show and wanted some Premier League picks. And I wanted to pull, because we talked about Manchester City when we did the Premier League preview last week. But the Rodri thing just put me off because he was absolutely key to them shitting the bed for that period last year. I know they've got Reinders, I think.
They said he'll be back after the September break, which is three weeks in or something like that. But even that was a bit vague. He said he's unlikely to be really fit until after the September international break. That suggests he might be fit, but just not really fit. But so you're probably looking at mid-September, possibly. You might miss the first 4 games or so.
Okay. So I've got 2 picks here, Baz, I'm going to put out together because they involve the same team, and it is Fulham that I've talked up a little bit. But just confidence slightly tempered. They finished 11th last year, finished on 54 points. And I do want to factor them in somewhere because I think basically of that glob of middle teams, they remain steady. If you think of those other teams around them, the rest of that globe, Brighton, I think are going to regress, lost their best players. Possibly going to lose Belieber, depending on if you are a believer in that rumour or not. That was a good joke. Bournemouth lost a lot of their best players. Zabani this week went to PSG on top of the others. Brentford have been pretty much ransacked and have appointed some set-piece coach as the manager. They're all going to regress. Now, that's the teams that finished 7th, 8th and 9th. If, I'm not saying we are, but people are expecting Manchester United and Tottenham to replace them two in the top 10, it still leaves Fulham in decent nick for a top 10 finish. And that 54 points last year with the handicap, I haven't picked them on the handicap. My first play is going to be Fulham over 48 points, which is 6 to 5 plus 120. I'm going to have $250,000 on that to win 550,000. Like I say, I don't see them going that far backwards from 54 points. Like a 6-point drop off is a lot from 54. If anything, I can see them making a little step forward because those other teams are going to drop points. We saw Palace today. I think Palace can join that list of teams that are just going to fucking go for it every week. No one plays like Newcastle used to play, or Watford, or West Brom, or Sunderland, or Middlesbrough, or Sean Dyche's Burnley, where they just don't bother. All the dog shit now just fucking goes for it. And they'll just beat each other. They'll just beat each other up. And I think Fulham are in a better position to beat up the likes of Brighton, Bournemouth, and Brentford. So 250 grand over 48.5 points. And if I'm going to maintain that level of confidence, I'm going to take them for a top half finish. I'm going to have 100 grand at 12 to 5 plus 240. So £100,000 there, Baz, wins me 340 grand. If they hit the top half, they're going to have more than 48 points. So top half finish there will get me up to 990. So Fulham, sort of the biggest play, although I've split my stake across 2 markets, Baz.
Well, I've got an almost identical handicap here in the same market.
But for a different team.
And I prefer mine, and certainly after what we've seen today, I prefer mine.
Crystal Palace, isn't it?
My pick is Crystal Palace over 47 points. So the only one less point as well, Malcolm.
Yes.
Palace put on a good display today. Obviously, as I say, I took this before that anyway. But I just thought Palace have been a bit underrated. As I say, 47 points seemed a very low total anyway. The transfer noise around a lot of their players seems to have quietened down. There was a lot of talk that Eze and Gehi were going to go. Wharton, another one. And at the moment, looks like they'll kick off the season with Munoz, Eze, Saw, Wharton, Gehi. It's a strong team Palace have got there. As you say, they finished really strong last season. They've improved year on year under Glasner as well. They were 45 points they finished on the year Hodgson left. 49 the year after under Glasner, and 53 last year. So just like you, they've got to drop back quite a bit not to hit this line. So 53 last year, needing over 47 this year. They've covered the line of 47 in 3 of the last 4 seasons as well. I just think it's far too low. Around even money, when I looked the other day, it might have shortened a little bit, possibly after today. But the pick for me, £200,000 on Palace to get over 47 points at even money, returns 400,000.
I mean, there's 2 keys to Crystal Palace doing that, Baz. I absolutely think you're right. It's a bulletproof handicap on that team that we saw today. It's can they keep the best players? It's not complicated. We do mention it a lot, but there are certain teams that rely on the best players, and it is Eberechi Eze who's been linked with a move away to Arsenal, most notably Tottenham, possibly stuff like that. Mateta, this centre forward market is kind of thinning out a little bit, but there's still some teams looking for strikers. And Mateta is one there. Wharton will stay, but he's a good player. And then Gay, he's the other one, the big name linked to Liverpool and Newcastle. So it depends what they're left with on September the 1st, because everything you said is completely correct. The second thing with Crystal Palace is Europe, how it's going to affect them. It is their first time, whether they'll go shit or bust. I mean, if they're going to end up in the Conference League, so you can take it a little bit more easy, sort of away at Jagiellonia, Bielefeld on a Thursday, rather than taking on Fenerbahce or Lille or someone like that. So they're the 2 things. But other than that, Baz, I can't fault you at all. And I'll throw out my Palace play because I have taken 25 grand off 2 of my bets in order to play Palace on the handicap. So on the fly, I am adjusting on the fly. I'm putting 50 grand on Palace on the handicap plus 33 points at 15 to 1.
Well, you've jumped ahead, and you've jumped ahead and stole one of my picks. That was already on my notes.
Oh, okay. Just when we were doing Palace things, Baz. So
I'll throw mine out as well. I've also got Palace handicap. So I did want to put a handicap entry in this year. And again, I just think they're being underestimated. I think they could be one of the overachievers in terms of what the books have got. So they'll overperform their expectations. And same bet, 50,000 at 16 to 1 on Palace on the handicap plus 33 points.
Okay. Go on then. You go again now, Baz.
Yeah. So my next one is, it's a bit of a soft one, really. But I've gone for the promoted teams all to go down. Just following the trend from recent years. 7 to 2 this time if you shop around, 3 to 1 in places, but I found 7 to 2 today. I just think, as I say, the trend for the last few years has been all 3 of them going down. It's proved very difficult for the teams coming up to stay up. Last year it was over with weeks to spare as well. And I just haven't seen anything that suggests these 3 won't be struggling. And I think at this price, you're likely to get a run for your money. There's probably going to be at least 2 of them who are doomed early on. And it's then whether the third can sort of make a fight of it or not. I'm going to take the same outcome again. 3 promoted teams, all to be relegated. £100,000 at 7 to 2 to return £450,000.
I like that bet, Baz. I put it in the Premier League preview we done last week for the same reasons. It didn't make the final cut here in my place, but no, got no issues with that at all. It's just a big leap nowadays, and we've seen the evidence for it. Just looking out the window, though, I thought that was my sexy neighbour Tash coming back, but it wasn't Baz. It was bloke who was knocking off Gloria 2 doors down. He's away home, presumably to his wife. Anyway, my next pick is I've got a few picks hovering around the bottom, Baz. You've dragged us into the relegation zone, so we'll stay there. And I'm going to go with, so it's a similar sort of pick to similar reasoning to the pick you just outlined, and it's going to be Leeds United under 36 points at 13 to 10 plus 130. I'm just looking at there's 2 things in play here. One, if you look at the bare stats, the best promoted team's performance from the last 2 seasons Leicester 25 points, Luton 26 points. So it's a bold jump to think Leeds can find 11 points of improvement on those. 26 up to 30, well, 10 points of improvement, 26 up to 36. I just don't know where that evidence comes from when you look at the squad. So it's not just based on what's happened in the last 2 seasons. If there was a squad there that looked capable of doing it, you'd happily have a look at them. I want teams to stay up. I'd rather Leeds were in the Premier League than any of that woke shit like Brentford and Bournemouth. But it's a big, big old gap. Even the bad teams have got good footballers like Wolves, Brentford, Bournemouth. They've all got £40 million strikers and stuff like that kicking about. I don't know where 11 points of improvement comes from, because when you look up and down the squad, it's just that, oh no. Andy's wife heard me talking about, I don't know which bit she's laughing at, but anyway, it was all for effect, Karen. I didn't mean any of that. 13 to 10 is a huge price, I think, Baz. I mean, they could still with 35 points. I'd be delighted if they do. But we'll land this 200 grand, Barry. At 13 to 10 plus 460,000 would be the return on that one.
Yeah, so the next one for me is a one I tried last year. So I'm going again for a team top scorer. And it's one where you've got to try and fade the favourite at a club and try and find someone different if you want a decent price. So I've gone to Nottingham Forest. And obviously the favourite, the odds-on favourite, is Chris Wood. But I'm going to go for the new signing, Igor Jesus.
You like this geezer, don't you?
To be the top scorer. I haven't seen enough of him yet, but I'm not convinced Chris Wood is going to do the same as he did last year. I mean, to be fair, I've got Chris Wood wrong for a while now, particularly in fantasy football, because I keep thinking he'll revert back to being not very good.
All I can think about now, Barry, is me and you stood behind that goal at Hillsborough when he blazed that fucking ball. And that was the end of... I think that was the last ball he kicked for Newcastle United. And I pulled back on the drive here at 1 o'clock in the morning with the kids on their first ever away trip.
Yeah.
And then it's turned into prime Eusebio ever since.
Yeah. Well, I want to oppose him here. And Forest have struggled for goals in pre-season. They've only scored 1 in 7 games. Wood did get it. But he's played 4 or 5 games and only scored 1 against some pretty poor opposition as well in some games. Obviously, that's not hugely significant. It's pre-season. As Newcastle fans, we know pre-season results don't mean anything because we haven't won a single game. I think Forest will be hugely reliant on the defence again. I think there will still be low scorers. They were the lowest scoring team in the top half last year. And therefore, I think there's a chance 9, 10 might be enough this season to nick it. The two of them, Igor Jesus and Wood, have started together during some of the pre-season games. But I reckon Jesus, if he gets off to a good start, and it's a big if, then he could be pushing to be the main focal point of the attack. And as I say, I'm just not sure Wood's got another season in him like last year. So it might be a bit easier to catch him up. The pick is £100,000 on Igor Jesus to be the top scorer for Forest at 7 to 2, 450,000 that would return. And so Igor Jesus, top Forest scorer at 7 to 2.
Are you going to stick with Jesus, or are you going to maybe pronounce
Jesus?
it?
But you say how you want to say it.
You do.
I'm going to read it out as it's written on my paper.
Fefwef is a Nottingham Forest season ticket holder. I didn't know that, Fefwef.
I assumed by the whole the Derby rage that he was a Forest fan.
The clues were there.
I'm sure he has told us before, but it came back to me in the last episode. I thought, I'm fairly certain Fefwef is a Forest fan.
His considered opinion on this is that Wood is absolute shite. Blows my mind the praise he gets from people who don't watch us regularly. He scored loads of goals last year, man. What's the matter with you? Okay, well, I've got a Forest pick, and it actually was the next one on my list as well, Barry. So this is flowing nicely. There's been some talk in the chat about various teams to finish above Manchester United. I've seen mentioned. I've seen Leeds mentioned, and other people, Fulham, people like that, and Palace, all to finish above Man United. But I'm going to take Nottingham Forest to finish above Manchester United. 3 to 1, Barry. That's a massive price, man. 23-point gap last season. 23 points. Now, I think reports of Nottingham Forest's demise have been greatly exaggerated, Barry. particularly because of how they play. I mean, if you've seen they are really the outlier. Maybe Everton play a little bit like that, a little bit more of an old-fashioned defence kind of first, clean sheets. Their pre-season's been absolutely nuts. Haven't they drawn every single game 0-0, apart from the odd one where they lost 1-0? Just goalless all over the place. But the big, strong, tough, low variance. We talked a couple of weeks ago about teams needing low variance outcomes. They kept Gibbs White, Anderson, the two centre-backs, Murillo and I always want to say Milenkovic. Is that his name? Yeah. I just don't know where this gap's. I think it's a little bit disrespectful. Man United should be better, no question. They'd be. I mean, if they're any worse, they're going to get fucking relegated. So they should be better. They've signed 3 serviceable strikers. But I think we head into April next year with these two in a very similar place in the league, 8th, 9th, something like that, sitting tied for points. And 3-1, I think, is a massive price to go into that, Baz. So yeah, 3-1 on Forest to finish higher than Manchester United. Does that do anything for you, Baz?
I don't mind that at all. As you say, we mentioned Man United the other day, and it's just the expectation from the bookies is that suddenly Man United are going to find another 30 points and be back in the top 6 and all of this. And I just think it's a big ask. Yeah, they've bought some decent pedigree players, but it's still a big leap for them to suddenly, and as you say, overtake Forest to that extent. Forest might drop back a little, possibly, but yeah, I wouldn't bet against it. That's for sure.
Okay, we will move on. I am going to tell you about the Circa Million and the Circa Survivor. The world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contests. The Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and the Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. The Circa contest weekend, where you can hang out with the SGPN boys and girls, is August 21 to 23. You get a 15% off for stay at the Circa with the promo code SGP15. Contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy. And you can win 500 times your entry on Fantasy Pick'em too. So sign up with our code PLGP to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code PLGP. Started my first NFL draft today, Baz. I didn't know anything about it until a notification on my phone off Sleeper saying you are on the clock. I was like, what the fucking? And it turns out that one of the SGP D-Gens leagues had auto-renewed. And I had pick 101. Barry, who did I pick with 101?
I wouldn't have a clue. I haven't even looked at it this season. I had completely out the loop. Quarterback, Mahomes.
No. Nah, Josh Allen is the answer.
Josh Allen, I was going to say.
It was a 2-quarterback league. It was a super flex Baz. So Josh Allen. And then I'm guessing I'll get another pick in before bed. It's an 8-hour clock, Baz. We've got plenty of time. Right. Is it your go? It's your go, Barry. Come on.
Yeah, I'm into the fancy picks here, the big numbers, the small stakes, big odds type of picks. And they're all, my next 3 are all each way picks. 2 markets. So I'll start with the top scorer market first. I'm going to go for Solanke. Again, I mentioned this one the other day. I think it's 33-1. Now, I think if he stays fit, I can see him not being far off being in the top 4 or 5 for goals. It's a big if he stays fit because he does get a lot of injuries. But it's also a big price, 33-1. I think Spurs will improve on last season because they'll try this season where they didn't bother in the second half of last. So yeah, Solanke, I just think the price at 33-1 is likely to give you a good run, at least for the each way spots. You're getting quarter of the odds for the top 4. So we're looking at 8-1 for Solanke to finish in the top 4 of scorers. I don't mind that at all. So the pick is 50,000 each way. So 100,000 total stake, 50,000 each way at 33-1. If he gets the golden boot, I'll pick up 2.16 million. If he gets in the top 4, I'll return £460,000.
I absolutely hate that, Baz. I think he's got fucking no chance. I think 6 goals. That's what I'm giving Solanke this year. I'm just not having him at all.
I'll take the higher for evens then.
We'll do 10 or a goal or something like that. I'm not buying it at all. Next, I'm staying in the bottom of the league, Barry. Now, I don't know if you looked at this market because I want to get you to price this market up because it's, to me, is absolutely miles off, Barry. It's the top newcomer. So who's going to finish higher out of Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland? Barry, price that market up for me, please. 3-way market.
I mean, Leeds should be odds on. I'd probably say 4 to 5 Leeds.
Leeds United are 4 to 5, Barry.
Sunderland, therefore, are going to be about 6 to 4. And Burnley, 5 to 2.
All right, okay. You've got them in the right order. I'm surprised. Leeds are 4 to 5, minus 125. Sunderland 9 to 4, plus 225. And Burnley are 3 to 1. And I just think this is a market where you could throw a blanket over all 3. If anything, Sunderland, I would have them a little bit back of the other 2. Bear in mind where they finished in the league last season, etc. I know they signed a load of blokes from the lowlands of Central Europe that you've never heard of. But I don't look at Leeds' squad and think they haven't improved enough to clear away from Burnley. And what Burnley have got is what we've talked about, is that ability to keep themselves in games last year, to keep all those clean sheets, to do things properly. Leeds might touch them off by a couple of points, but 4 to 5, 3 to 1. I just think it's wrong. I just think the price is completely wrong. So 3 to 1 here, Baz. 100 grand to win 400 on Burnley to be the top newcomer. Okay, you go again, Barry.
Yeah, so this is my final market, but I've got 2 picks in it. And it's into the assists market. The first one's obviously not going to be any surprise because I raved about it the other day, but it's Ait-Nouri for Man City to be the most assists at 100 to 1. There was bigger prices available earlier in the week. You might still, if you shop around, you might still find a bigger price. But Ait-Nouri, he got 7 last year for Wolves. He's now at Man City with 4 more attacking options and 4 more possession in the opposite half. I think he could easily double that, which would push him close. So Ait-Nouri most assists, 25,000 each way at 100 to 1. So if he finishes top, we'd get 3.2 million. If he finishes in the top 4, because we're taking him each way, we'll win 625k. I love him to go push that at least get 10 double figures. Lee messaged the other day, actually. Smudger said, I can't remember the price now, but
7 to 1, Baz. You
7 to 1 to get 10, was it?
Yeah.
I like the look of that. As I say, he got 7 last year. You can expect him to get a few more, surely, at Man City. So I did like the look of that one as well. But yeah, Ait-Nouri most assists. And the other one I've gone to is Odegaard, who in the past has been quite high up in the table for most assists. Last season wasn't so good. But I think the year before, I think he had 11. And I just think Arsenal have got a bit more of attacking presence around him now with players coming in. And I think he can get back in the frame. He's 20 to 1, Odegaard, for most assists. I'm going to have 50,000 each way on Odegaard at 20 to 1. So if he was to finish top, would win 1.35 million. If he finishes in the top 4 outside of the top, we'd get 300,000. So yeah, Odegaard and Ait-Nouri are the 2 picks for most assists.
Well, I've got a pick in that assist market as well. It's the player I mentioned in the preview show, which is Savinho from Manchester City. 25 to 1 each way. Each way terms are 1, 2, 3, 4, a quarter of the odds. 10 assists in 29 games last year, which extrapolates out to a decent pace. And that pace gets you an each way return. So 6 to 1 or 6 1/4 to 1 as an each way return in the 4-place market is fine. And he did do a lot of his damage in the second half of the season when City looked stronger. So I think Savinho's side, we're expecting City to go well. I was trying to find which City angle. So I'll take Savinho there. I'm having 25 grand each way, Barry. So 650 grand for the win. £181,250 for a place. I've got one more market where I picked three picks from. Baz, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done, okay. So team top scorer markets, you picked Igor Jesus from Forest earlier on. I'm going to go first to West Ham United, where Bowen is the 1 to 2 favourite. And that makes Nicholas Füllkrug a big price at 5 to 1 for me. He's a centre forward. I mean, Jared Bowen's winger. He might be on penalties. I don't even know if he's going to be on penalties. Füllkrug scored goals. Like, he hasn't been fit is the issue. He's got to stay on the pitch. If he's on the pitch, he scored goals for Dortmund. He scored goals for Germany. He's perfectly capable. And I think 5 to 1 is a big price. So 50 grand on him wins me 300,000. These are the two blokes I took 25 grand off to get me Palace handicap on. So 50 grand now on Füllkrug at 300. And the other one is Ilman and Jai of Everton at 3 to 1. Clearly their best player. Scored goals last season. He's the most reliable player. The 8 to 11 favourite is this unknown 22-year-old Tieno Barry. I mean, I'll tell you what sort of state Everton are in. The 6th favourite, the top score for them is James Tarkowski. That's where Everton are. So it's not a very... I looked at Dwight McNeil and then I realised he was a great price. And then I looked at his goals record and that's why he's a great price because he never kicks it in the goal. Njai stands out at 3 to 1. So 50 grand on Njai to win 200. And then I've doubled them two up, Baz. This is cheeky play, isn't it? You can't double these markets. Füllkrug at 5 to 1. And Njai at 3 to 1 pays 23s. So I've got 50 grand on that to win me £1.2 million, Barry. And that is my 1 million quid spunked completely up the wall. Very good. I think we've got a few winners in there. Like I say, my winners are all 500 here, 600 there, 400 there. So I'm going to need to land 2 or 3, Baz. I'm not sure about my tactics, but the next 9 months will tell us.
Yeah, similar feelings, yeah. But plenty to follow for the season.
Beautiful. Right, okay then. You need to tell us what the rest of this lifestyle and the answer to the quiz question, where is Barry good?
Yeah, so Cardiff was last week. Well, 2 weeks ago. Liverpool was Friday just gone. Liverpool was very good. Went to see the K's. And there was a band supporting called the Claws who were very good. So keep an eye out for them because they're touring in December, I think. So the Claws, CLAUSE. Definitely a good up-and-coming band, one to keep an eye out for. This week, 2 gigs on the agenda. Thursday, I'm going to Hull. Nobody guessed Hull in the chat. Going to see a band called the Royston Club, who I saw at a festival, the Neighbourhood Weekender, not that long ago. And you remember when I went to Leeds and I didn't offer you a free ticket? I went to see the Lathams.
Yeah, I remember that.
Royston Club were playing there as well. They're a really good band. New album out this week, the Royston Club, worth a listen. So I'm going to see them in Hull. It's an album launch gig where me and Chloe are going. And Chloe will probably be able to get the album and get it signed and all that. Small venue, only a sort of 300 venue. Callum might know the venue. Actually, I'm going to the Welly Club in Hull. So, Callum might know that place. It's rough as out. And then on the Friday, so from Thursday in Hull, I'm going all the way across the M62 to Manchester to go and watch the Fontaines DC and Kneecap. You got much to say about Kneecap?
I don't mind him. I couldn't give a shit, really. It's one of those, like, who gives a shit, yeah. Stevie
they're
Brown.
lively. I think that they're a good live. Like, if you just want to go nuts and bounce around and fucking have a bit of mayhem, then Kneecap or a band to see. So, yeah, Fontaines DC is one Chloe's wanted to watch for ages. She's been dying to go. We've actually looked at flying out to Germany to see them. We looked at going to Paris next week to see them because we couldn't get tickets for Manchester. It was sold out. We've managed to pick up 1 ticket so far, which means we're now committed, even if it means me having to pay a stupid price for the second ticket. But yeah, Welly Club, Hull, Royston Club. is Thursday night's gig, and then Fontaine's DC and Kneecap on Friday night. And then I've got more lined up the following week. So we're not going on holiday this summer. So we're just traveling around the country watching live music. And to be fair, Chloe, I said to Chloe, I said, you do realise, like, you know, we're not going on holiday this summer because you're spending all the money like going to gigs. And she was like, that's fine. I would rather go to all these gigs. And Sophie's been to a lot as well. There's a few that we went to as a family. So, yeah, we're enjoying it. It's been a good little adventure the last few weeks.
Good, Barry. Nice, wholesome family fun. I played golf on Monday night, and Steve Brown played golf in a Kneecap T-shirt. Which I don't think... I don't know. Do you reckon anyone in the world's ever played golf in a Kneecap T-shirt before?
Possibly not.
I think that might be a first.
On a sporting subject, Malcolm, I did a mini triathlon this weekend. I mean, how fucking mini, Barry? Bear in mind, I've seen you. Very mini. And it was over 2 days as well. And it wasn't an actual triathlon, obviously. But I went swimming yesterday.
Yeah.
I done 30 lengths in 45 minutes. That was all right.
That's quite impressive because I couldn't do that.
3 weeks ago, I started swimming. I did 20 lengths. It took us an hour. So a lot of rest in between. I was knackered. 30 lengths in 45 minutes. So 3 weeks, a lot of improvement. And then I got out the pool and I thought, I'm going to pop in the gym and go and get on a bike because I felt fresh, you know. So I did 10K on the bike, pedaling away. That took us about half an hour. And then it was the next day. Today, I've got a treadmill here. I jumped on the treadmill and I did the first day of couch to 5K on the treadmill. So a little bit of running, a little bit of walking. Just part of me, you know, the new lifestyle, Malcolm. I'm trying to keep inspiration to us all, Barry. So a little mini triathlon. Maybe I'll try and do the 3 of them all together next week instead of spreading it over 2 days. Well,
I've in kind of similar news. I've hurt both of my Achilles, Barry. Both my Achilles are really sore, but fortunately it's not from dynamic exercise like you. I think, Barry, it's from I have my feet up when I'm in the bath. And I've spent so much time in the bath this week. I must have nearly cracked 20 hours, I reckon. I must have done 20 hours in the bath. And because my feet are either up on the sink or on the end of the bath, and I cross them. So I cross them and have them sort of pointing back towards me. Both my Achilles have gone. So yeah, I had to admit that to the dads at football this morning. I've injured both my Achilles by knocking out 20 hours in the bath. Barry, thankfully, Courtney was here to remind us that we haven't played kickoff, Baz, because I nearly forgot. I did have it written down in my notes, and then I've just squidged past it. So, anyone who missed an episode, the score remains 0-0. The ball is in red F10. It is my turn to go first. It is my right winger. Who's that over there? It's with my right back, Tony Lee, one of the Lee twins. I'm still under pressure, Barry. I think if I can weather the next couple of episodes, I might just start pushing you back here. I'm a little bit more confident than I was. What I'm going to play here, Barry, is this fucker. 9 in a straight line. No messing about. Terry Lee is just going to hump it up the line towards Gianfranco Thompson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That puts the ball into your half, Barry, on square D10. So I am halfway inside Barry's half now, and Barry will respond with.
So how many squares am I from your goal?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'll take you 13 to get in, but you're also 2, up 2 north of it. 2 to the left. Because you're saying north. If I'm looking at the goal, 2 to the left. 2 to the left if you're... This is beautiful.
Right, got it.
Great audio. Please, everyone, stopped up at 11 o'clock on a Sunday for this.
I'm going on a right old run here. I'm going to go forward 9.
Oh, fuck. I know what card you've got, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go 3 to the right and then 5 forward.
That is an absolute monster of a card. That is a shot on target, Barry. And that's where we will leave it to see if Robin Bravo has got the answers. It's a 3rd shot on target. Absolutely.
Oh, is this where you fiddle the cards for the next week to pull out?
Right. Hang on. Didn't we say if you suggested that, then it was game over?
I don't know. I'm
Do you want to
fine.
retract that?
To be fair, I should have played that one last time, but I didn't realise where I was on the board. So
exactly.
I was ready for
you
it
did
this time.
complain after the show that you didn't know where on the pitch you were, which is just rank bad planning on your behalf. So that's a shot on target. It's in the goal at position number 7. Details to follow. There we go. Right. I think, Barry, 56 minutes. We dragged that shite out for. That was good. The plan this week, pick show on Thursday evening, I believe. Wednesday, maybe.
It's going to be tricky. If we can do Wednesday, that would be better, because Thursday I'll be in Hull. So either Wednesday or Thursday afternoon would have to be
I'm
the
doing
plan.
MLB on Wednesday, but it's a short one. It's a little card. Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm very much winding down holiday next Saturday morning.
Wednesday is probably better because we've got a Friday night game, isn't it? So
yeah, okay then. So if we be here, might be a little bit later, maybe 10:45 or something, unless we could do it earlier, maybe, Baz. But anyway, stay across the schedule. Again, it pains to tell people that this is the time to plug us if you can. Tell a friend, be a friend, like, rate, review, 5-star, thumbs up, comment, all of that bollocks. Yeah, Baz, that's me done. Anything else before we go?
No, all done.
Champion. Yes, this time next week, the people will be heartbroken. Newcastle will have beaten Aston Villa 5-0 with the Joe Linton hat-trick. So loads of excitement to come. Good luck with all your bets. Cheers, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it, and we will see you all down the road. Cheers.